Hi, I'm Bruce Blitz, and welcome to Cartooning with Blitz. That means cartooning with Blitz as in me, and also cartooning with Blitz as in dynamite cartoons. And if you're one of those people that can't stop doodling, you've come to the right place. We're going to take it step by step, and we'll turn those doodles into finished cartoon drawings. And later on, we'll be spinning the wheel of features, and that's a lot of fun. And for our feature of the day, we'll be making Lyle smile. A neat cartooning effect. I know you'll like that. And for our doodle trick, automatic teller machine. This is a real cute one too, so stay tuned for that. So let's get started, and we'll take it step by step, and let's do some expressions to warm up. And expressions are very important because expressions are what make your characters appear to be thinking and breathes life into them. So let's start with an oval, just like this. And notice how I made that shape. I moved my hand around the page before I lowered that pen. Now, we're going to have the fellow looking off this way. And remember, we think of this as a balloon or an egg, a three-dimensional object. So we put the guidelines wrapped around, so it's got roundness. Ready? So we put the nose in first. And noses don't affect facial expressions. Now we're going to put the eyes in. And this guy's going to be scared to death. So his eyes are wide open, and his pupils are very small. For some reason, when you make them small like that, it makes it a little funnier. And his eyebrows are way up and even off the shape, if you notice. And that's what makes it funnier too, because you want to exaggerate everything. Now, his upper lip. Now watch, the rest of the shape. Go up, down, out, like that. Boy, that's going to be good. Now we'll put his teeth in. A line across like that, a couple lines up like that, and it even shows bottom teeth. This guy's scared to death. And his tongue, it's coming up pretty good. Now, a good way to practice facial expressions is to just make these expressions into the mirror and transfer what you see down into cartoon-style line. Trick is just don't get caught doing this because it looks a little weird. And here's his ear and his hair. Well, if he's scared to death, his hair will be standing up too. And cartoon effects and accessory, they're those little extra doodles around the drawing showing that he's scared to death here. Now, put a little color in this. And you know what? I'm going to use some chalks. And take a little chalk and lay it on its side and get a nice flowing effect. Look at that. That's nice. You don't want to fill it in completely either. You want to leave a little bit of white space. That creates a little highlight or interest. A little bit of red for his tongue. Yeah, a little bit for his cheek for sure because he's so scared. And you know what? The oldest cartoon effect and accessory there is, I think, you just take these lines like this. But look how it makes that drawing pop. I like that one. Give a little ending music. Okay, let's do another expression. This time, let's have a woman who is suspicious of somebody and have her head kind of peeking off to the side. You have to think these actions through. Okay, so let's start with a shape like this. Okay, right in the center there, we're going to have her eyes. We'll do the same kind of eyes as we did on the other fella, but we're going to cut it in half. That's her eyelids halfway. Give her some big eyelashes. Now her eyes are peeking off this way, so let's draw her pupils in there, looking off, and her nose, and her eyebrows. Now her eyebrows are what's going to drive this expression home, make it work. One's down and the other one's up. She's pondering what's going on. She's not too sure about what she's looking at. And her mouth, it's not doing much of anything. It's just kind of not smiling, not frowning. And she's looking off to the right. Now let's give her some hair, some fluffy hair. Big wave like that. And give her a flip. And let's define this a little bit. An earring. And now for some cartoon effects and accessories, and that's what's going to make this work too. If she's peeking off, here's another old cartoon effect and accessory. The old dotted line effect shows what she's looking at. What else? Okay, maybe one of these, like her head just turned. Whoops, like she just turned and what? Oh, what is that? I'm not too sure about that person. Let's add some color to this drawing now, okay? And again, I'll be using some colored chalk and laying it on the side. Let's pretend we have the light coming from this direction here, which would mean that this side would be white. Now we're going to cover more of that in other shows, how light affects different shapes. But for right now, just a quickie lesson. Some red for the lips. And that's it, maybe a little yellow for her hair. Oh, that's coming up real nice. Look at that, how that yellow just made it pop. Oh, and a little bit of blue for her eyeshadow. There you go. It's a great cartoon sketch. All right, let's move on. And now let's do an inanimate object coming to life. And that's great in cartooning. You see that a lot in ads and television, animated cartoons. And what that is taking something that doesn't really live, putting a cartoon face on it, which is nothing more than using the same expressions we've been doing on an object, comes to life. And let's do a look around them, a rubber stamp, that we use for envelopes or whatever. So let's start with a shape right in here, like a circle, and let's have a rubber stamp. Just have a real happy-go-lucky face. We're not even going to put a nose on this fella. Just going to give him a big smile and eyes, because he's just happy-go-lucky, and you'll see why in a second, because what we're going to do is draw his body, which is the rubber stamp, which is a cube shape. And you'll see when we talk about this on other shows that all objects can be broken down to one or a combination of four, any combination of one or more of those four forms, which is the cube, sphere, cylinder, and cone. Here we've got a cube, and this is the stamp. Okay, now let's give him some movement. And what we're going to do now is we're going to add some dotted lines to show a path that he's been jumping around on. So let's see, what would a rubber stamp do? He might be going like this. Boom, that was one stamp. And there's another one. And these lines here, these splash lines, look like where he crashed down. Even give it a sound effect. How's that? Bam. And he could be saying something like, "More ink, please." There you go. That's a good cartoon. Let's do another one. And this time, let's see. Let's have two characters interacting in the same sketch. And we'll start with another circle, and it'll be a microphone. Now watch this. Start right about here. And we'll have, this time the expression will be, he's a little bit sick. So his eyes are shut tight like that, tightly shut, or shutly tight, whatever you want to say. And his nose is like this, and his mouth, well, it's in a frown, but a broken line makes it a little funnier, and his tongue's out. And let's see, put the rest of the microphone in, like this. Dots. Now let's go back in and let's add another character to it, and that way the two can be interacting. This will be a human, not an inanimate object. Okay, so right over here, I'm going to put a fella who is singing. And here's his tongue. And there's his teeth. He's got some crazy looking teeth there. And his eyes, he's up, he doesn't know what's going on, he's happy. Give him the eyelids too, like that. Yeah, it makes it a little funnier. And let's put some cartoon effects and accessories. The wavy lines coming out could indicate a couple things. It could indicate musical notes coming out. It could also indicate not very good breath, whatever. But the point is, we've got a great interaction of two characters here. We've got a guy who is the microphone that is smelling it and listening to it, and we've got the guy who is singing. And this time let's draw a little boy, and we'll put the whole body in too. So let's take this. Okay, now we start with a circle, just about like that, and put his body in, which is almost a cone, but not quite, doesn't go up to a point. And his legs, let's see, we're just going to lay it out now real fast. Put a stick here like that for one leg, and his other one comes down like this, and his foot. Now we have it pretty well laid out. If you've got that, you've got most of the drawing done. So now let's put the eyes in. And you know what? We can use sixes for the eyes. Watch this. This way it looks like he's peeking off to the right. And a small nose, and a big old smile. And you want to make sure that this line doesn't go too far below that smile, otherwise he starts to look too old. And I'll show you something about that in a second. A little demonstration to illustrate that a little better. Okay, now here's some hair. And there's the boy's face. Now we're going to draw his body. Now, have him in a t-shirt, and one arm is out this way, tucked in, his elbows against the side of his body, and here's his glove. Now his glove, baseball glove, it's really just a big hand, isn't it? let's put the ball in there. Okay, now let's put in his other hand, which is just kind of out there for balance. And here's his other hand. And cartoon hands are a little tricky. I'm not going to tell you they're not. They are. Took a little practice to get them. But you can use your own hand for a model or have someone pose for you if it's a real tricky kind of pose. Here's his pants, his leg. And if you practice, you can do anything. I'm positive of that. I guarantee it. I guarantee results if you practice. Some sneakers with spikes. His other leg's coming out this way. We have to maybe make that leg a little bit longer. Maybe a little bit like that. Sometimes the layout you start with has to be adjusted. Okay? Just like that. And there he is. Let's put a shadow to here, and let's put the ball, like an action line, right to the ball. Plop. As it just went in his glove, and he made the catch. He's real happy about that. And you know what? I'm not going to put a lot of color in this, but I'd like to just make some stripes maybe for his shirt. Yeah, some rosy cheeks. How about that? Okay, let's do another one. Now let's do another person. Oh, wait a minute. You know what? I wanted to show you something about the face. Take a look at this. Here I've got two faces of a boy with no chin. A little bit like the one we just drew. But I want to show you something. If they're exactly the same, and I make the chin line here, now watch this, right underneath that mouth, I guess he's about 6 or 7, maybe 8 years old. If I take that same face and I make that chin line down here, it could be anywhere between 13, 15, or even higher in the teens. So when you're drawing people and you want to keep them at a certain age, you've got to watch what you do with that chin line. Let's draw another person. And you know what? We're going to draw a clown. Now, I don't know if clowns are people or not, but we're going to give it a try here. Now, I'm going to start with a basic layout again like we did with the little boy. First, a circle for his head, and we're going to have him leaning way back like this, and his legs straddled. He's standing, but it's a real cartoon straddle with real big feet because he's a clown. And let's see what else. Both arms are out like that, and he'll be holding, what else? A seltzer bottle. And now that we got the basic form like that, we're going to put his face in. Now, clown face, a big bubble nose, big old smile like this with makeup, which what we have to do is just double that line a little bit. And his eyes, lines next to each other. And eyebrows, and an ear, and big funny hair. Coming out like this. You can put a hat on him. There you go, that's good. Now, his collar, they always have those big fluffy collars, so if we do that, we've got a good body started down here. Now we're just thickening up those lines to put his hands in, his arms in, and this hand is holding the seltzer bottle, and this hand has got the finger out, pushing down the top of it, and the water's coming out like that. Sound effects, coming out with some water. And now the body, it's figuring the rest of the body in here, and just going on that shape that we started with, because that's all it really is. Some ruffles around his feet. I almost said fluffles. And big old feet. Cartoons usually have big feet anyway, but with the clown you go a little bit wild. Let's make that a little bit wider. Make that come out to there. Let's add a little color to this guy real fast. You know what? I'm going to use orange and give him polka dots. Yeah, I like that. And red hair, bright red hair. And a big red nose. Use my tuning pencil for that one. And maybe some red lips. How about some blue for his collar? You know what? He's shaping up pretty nice. Color coordinated here. And some blue for the bottom. Blue for the water. Leave the white gloves. And there it is. Okay, practice some of these on your own. Now let's create a face with the wheel of features. Let's go. A wheel of features, capable of creating thousands of faces, and what we do is we just spin it like this, and whatever comes into this area here, that's the face we draw. There are the features. Let's get that one there. Oh boy, let's see what we're going to get now. A baby. A baby with sunglasses and a nose, bulbous nose like that, and a funny mouth. Okay, let's see what we're going to get. This is going to be a good one. Okay, we'll start with the outline. Oh boy. Big ears, a chin, big head and some curls. I like that. Sunglasses. This is going to be one cool baby. A baby wearing shades. This is something you see every day, right? I'm going to color that in, and you know what? You leave that little white space there too, just like when you draw cartoon hair, and you get a shadow, a highlight, a shine effect. All right, now, the nose. Now, we can play with the size of the features to make it fit on the face any way we want, and a big smile. It's a great face. I like that. Okay, next up, the feature of the day. Now, this next project is a lot of fun and it's very easy to do. What we're going to do is make Lyle smile. Now, first we have to draw a picture of Lyle. So that's very easy. We start with an ear, a chin, up to another ear, and from here, let's give him a crew cut with some stubbles on the side and the eyes. Now we're going to give him big, round, expressive eyes. And it's very important when you draw Lyle here that we don't give him any expression. By that I mean the mouth isn't smiling, it isn't frowning, it isn't doing anything. It's just straight across like that, even a lower lip. His eyebrows, well, they can go up a little bit. And the ears. Okay. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to fold it. Now, it's very important you have to fold it a certain way. Now, what I'm going to do is turn it over and peel this back and fold it right to the corner of his mouth on this side. Like that. See that? Okay, now we'll do the same on the other side. Right to the corner of the mouth. Okay, so you got both sides folded like that. Now what we're going to do is we're going to make an M shape, which is just a little gully right down the center, a fold. So from the side, it looks like the letter M. Okay, now the fun part. You're not going to believe this. Ready? Here's where we make Lyle smile by tilting it back and forward, back, and he smiles and frowns. Is that great or what, folks? I love this one. It's one of my favorite ones. Okay, next up, cartoon doodle tricks. Okay, for our doodle trick today, we'll warm up with a couple alphabet tunes and some friends stop by. How you doing, guys? Hi. Okay, let's start with the letter V. And V is for Vera. So let's draw a little girl named Vera. Now, is that a quickie or what? And this can be her hair into a ponytail. And some lines like this indicate hair. And let's give her U-shaped eyes, make her real confident and happy, some freckles. And there it is, V for Vera. A quickie, right? A warm-up. Let's do another one. This one's going to be another letter. And this one is Z. Another quickie. And people love when I take letters and turn them into finished cartoons. It's a great crowd pleaser because everybody's always amazed. But you know, if you go through the alphabet, you can do this very easily. Just practice going over the alphabet and try different combinations. These are going to be eyes. And this will be a nose. And this will be a mouth down here. I mean, most of the drawing was done with the Z, wasn't it? Here's the mouth. I guess all we need now is a facial outline, right? An ear, some hair, and this guy's saying, practice. Okay, another good message. Now let's do another one. This time, we'll use numbers. And we'll use a fraction. 5/6. 5/6. Okay, now if we use this part for a nose, this can be an eye, and that could be the eyebrow. This will be the mouth, and we turn it into his chin, some ears, and we'll give him fluffy hair. And there it is. No matter how many times I do the sketch, it just looks like a guy with a 6 on his chin, but you know, we tried. All right, let's do another one. Now this one here is a new kind of cartoon, and it's got a surprise ending. And these days, people do their banking with automatic teller machines, right? Where they don't have to go inside the bank anymore. They can actually do it by the machine. They can take money out or they can put money in. And we'll draw that right now. And there's nothing really to drawing that except we just draw a big box. Right? Nothing to it. And we'll draw the bottom part right here. Now, automatic teller machines have all those buttons on it where you punch in your number. Just like that. Now, right in the center they have the screen. And the screen is what gives you all the commands of what to do and things like that. And there it is. And I'm going to punch in my numbers now and see if we can get some money out of here. Nice try. Okay, where's the money? No money. Okay, let's try it again. Oh, I know. We didn't draw a place for the money. So let's do that right here. Got to make a line. That's where the money's going to come out, right? Okay, here we go. And where's the money? No money. Oh, I know what it is. I forgot to put my card in there. I need a place for the card. Here's my card. Okay, I got to draw a place for the card. All right, draw a place for the card. How about right here? Have to have a place for the card. Let's try that. Let's see. Worked. See? Okay. Now I'll try it. I think we're getting something. It's making those noises. Ding, ding. I think it's ready. Here we go. You know how a cartoonist gets his money? He withdraws it. Get it? And here it is. The money. And see, it all works out. See that? Okay. Well, that's all the time we have for today, and I hope you've enjoyed it, and you at home. And for our Blitz tip today, I think this is a good message. If you've got even a little talent, but you work real hard, it's worth more than a lot of talent with just little work. I'm Brusa Blica saying thanks for being with me, and keep on cartooning.